Hello, Pisces. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card of kind of a mental resistance, you know. I feel like you're somebody who, it's really something you want to do. There's something in you that's trying to climb out of the darkness. Now, the card that popped out of the pack was the inverted Hanged Man, okay? So I feel like there's something that, and that really, to me, this is you like getting out of this swamp. This is you rising. This is the fire dancer rather than the hanged man. You know, instead of sinking deeper and suffering and sacrificing, this is the card that says, no more, I'm emerging. I'm crawling out of this thing, and I'm asserting myself, and I am confident, and I'm on fire, and I'm lighting up my life, you know? Because it feels like the Hanged Man, or what is kind of being indicated by this combination, is that we know we're meant for something great in life, but there's something in us that's preventing us from doing that. That we've been sacrificing our own spiritual fulfillment. For what? Right? For something else, for someone else, because of fear, because of doubt, because of criticism, because of this internal dialogue telling us we can't do it. The Hanged Man is emerging from that trap, that snare. Okay, the snare of self-doubt. I feel like this is your fate. I feel like it's time for you to rise. It's time for you to climb out of that pit and do the thing. Be yourself. Do what you're here to do. I think that you've been suffering for a long time, sacrificing something, acquiescing in service to somebody else, or pleasing somebody else, or, you know, kind of denying your own wants and needs, denying your own aspirations for the sake of somebody else. And now, as we're starting to climb out of that phase, we're meeting with a little bit of doubt, a little bit of second guessing, or a little bit of questioning, a little bit of internal resistance. Okay? We need to put this card into a little bit of context and see how it is that we can continue this process. Again, I feel like there's something in your life that you've been sacrificing and suffering for, and we're starting to believe that there's a different path for us, but we're meeting with some resistance. So let's keep going. We have a Five of Wands, the willpower. We have a Princess of Pentacles, your potential. We have a Prince of Wands, the cruise control, right? The fixed fire energy, continuing to do the same thing we've been doing. I think the Five of Wands is indicating a change of course. We have an Eight of Wands, a little bit of anxiety, but also creative problem solving. We have a Five of Swords, Five of Wands, Five of Swords. Sometimes this is just dealing with the self-doubt. Saying, yeah, I'm always going to have that voice inside my head trying to convince me not to do it, but with that Five of Wands, I got to do it anyway. We have the Three of Swords. Well, we have the High Priestess. We have the Prince of Pentacles. And we have, look at that, the full illumination, the sun. The sun, the full realization. Full success, happiness, prosperity, the fulfillment. Yeah. I think you're changing a situation now that doesn't need to continue in your life. You've been in service to something else. With that Hanged Man energy, it's like you're the person that is going to let everybody else go ahead of you. Until now, right? I feel like you've been suffering and sacrificing for the sake of something like, or maybe it's a person, a relationship. It's been preventing you from fulfilling your own destiny. It's kind of like we've been living somebody else's life. We've been trying to please somebody else. We've been in service to somebody else, and it's not fulfilling our soul. It's not fulfilling our nature. Now, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. You know, now I don't know. Is it Bubo or Bobo, the mechanical owl from Clash of the Titans? Now I don't know. I thought it was Bubo. Anyway, we're not going to look at that card until the end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. If at any point during this message you feel like you know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comment section down below this video. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we see the Hanged Man being led to the light by the High Priestess. See, the High Priestess is taking your hand, right? You see these two cards. Every time I put these cards together, I get a little bit of in trouble. I get a little bit of grief from YouTube because, well, if you look at these cards, they're not wearing any clothes. That's okay. It's art. The Hanged Man and the High Priestess are basically holding hands. They're basically mirror images of each other. And what this combination symbolizes is that we have to let our intuition, we have to let spirit, we have to let the divine light lead us out of this cave we're in. Lead us out of the darkness into the light. Okay? So the High Priestess is taking you by the hand and is pulling this Hanged Man up into the sunshine. Okay? Of course, we have to hold on tight. And that's the 5. The 5 of Wands is the human hand, 5-fingered hand, right? Reaching out and grabbing. We can, the High Priestess is reaching for us. We're reaching for the High Priestess. We've got to clasp her hand, We've got to hold on to it, meaning like we've got to do the work. We've got to trust in that. We've got to reach out to the divine and cling to the divine and feel that power and like let ourselves be sort of pulled out of this. Okay? So I don't know what the situation is for you exactly, but I feel like we've been suffering for something that is not our destiny. Okay? Something that we've been needlessly suffering. Or as the Hanged Man is, kind of acquiescing, being in service to something that's not meant for us. Okay? Giving of our energy, investing in something that it's not our life. Okay? So anyway, we have our major arcana. We've got fire, fire, fire. We don't have any water at all. We've got air and air. We've got earth, air here too. We have 3 airs. And we have earth and earth over here. Okay? So the fact that there's no water is basically saying that you've sacrificed your happiness for the sake of somebody else's happiness, for the sake of somebody else's fulfillment, okay? You've been giving of yourself and kind of postponing your own success, your own evolution, your own triumph, your own enlightenment to help other people. Now, there's some nobility in that, right? That I'm postponing my liberation in order to help liberate other people. There's a nobility in that. But I think in your practical life, I think that you've been postponing something that it's now overdue for the sake of somebody else. Okay? You've been helping other people now, but not kind of doing what you need to do for yourself right now. There's no water energy here. There's no love. There's no satisfaction. There's no purpose. There's no meaning behind this anymore. So we're still sacrificing, but now we're suffering just to suffer. There's no meaning, there's no purpose to it anymore, yeah? So we have in our, we have as your first position card, the station, This represents the subjective experience. And this to me feels like we are suffering, and now we've kind of forgotten why we're suffering, what we're sacrificing for. And we kind of feel like we're trapped in that situation now. We're kind of stuck there, right? We're trying to climb out of the pit, but we're meeting with resistance. The battlefield, position 2 in our spread, is the 5 of Wands. And this is literally us striving, pushing forward, using our willpower to fight. I think what it is, it's really we're reaching out to the High Priestess and we're going to clasp her hand. And between our efforts and her pulling, right, we're going to get out of this. We have to trust in the divine. We have to trust in our intuition. We have to tap into that spiritual energy. Yeah, I feel like you are asserting yourself. You're making changes. You're going to reach out and strive for what you want in life. This is about you saying, I deserve to have a turn. It's kind of like saying, it's my turn now to do this. It's my time. Okay. I think that you have suffered enough, and now we're putting an end to that suffering. We're overcoming the doubt that we have, and we're pushing forward. We're striving, we're doing the work, we're putting in the effort. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be, well, you see the Sun card at the end here. Right? It's going to be very fulfilling to you. You're reaching a summit. You're reaching a kind of a zenith here, yeah. But underneath the surface, you have the Princess of Pentacles. There's something that's been neglected in your own soul. The Princess of Pentacles is an energy that should be transforming into the Empress. Princess of Pentacles now is kind of a dark, sterile landscape. It's the dead of winter. It's something that didn't get its season, didn't get its turn to thrive. It's like this is the dry forest, the empty, barren, sterile forest that never got a chance to grow. And what it needs is sunlight, right? Recognition. We need clarity. We have to acknowledge this. We have to give it love and warmth. It needs sunlight and water. And it will grow. We see the verdant energy is still there, but it's down toward the roots. It's gone dormant. Something inside of you has kind of gone dormant, has gone under the surface, has gone kind of cold. We're heating it back up with this effort. And we are giving it attention and giving it love, giving it the focus that it needs so that it can grow and thrive. We're tending the internal garden because something inside of you has been long neglected. A talent, a skill, a wish, a hope, a desire, an aspect of you, part of your potential, your fulfillment. Okay. Now, do you have a connection with Greece? I don't know, maybe like literally the country of Greece or like ancient Greece or Greek mythology. Something like that is important to you, yeah. And also there's a flower tattoo that is familiar to you. I don't know if it's yours or somebody close to you, but there's the flower tattoo. Yeah. Maybe the flower itself like means something. Kind of goes with our garden theme, I guess, the internal cultivation. This is something inside of you that needs your blood, sweat, and tears, needs your attention, needs your investment of time, effort, energy, and or money. Yeah. For you to put your efforts into yourself, into something that you need to grow, something inside of you that needs to be cultivated. Yeah. And in the background position, we have a Prince of Wands. Prince of Wands is a fixed fire energy. It's a Leo kind of energy. And it's kind of the cruise control of effort, right? So because this is in the background, this is position 4, it's the dwarf, it's what is still influencing your present. And basically it's just kind of saying, I don't really have a reason to stay here, but I'm staying here because it's just kind of what I've always been doing. I'm kind of in the groove, it's easy to keep going. And so I keep going because it takes effort to turn the car, right? So we've got the cruise control on, and now we have this Saturn in Leo energy here that's saying, whoa, wait a minute, let's turn cruise control off, let's slow down, and do we need to turn? Did I miss the exit? Right? Because of its fixed nature, this may be like a little bit of that highway hypnosis kind of thing, that we've been just doing something the same way for so long that, yeah, I don't know why. There's no purpose, there's no fulfillment here, but I keep doing it because it's what I've always done. Okay? And I think that we're starting to realize that, hey, I don't need to keep doing this, because what I'm really doing is getting further and further away from this part of myself that needs me right now. This is that potential. This is that talent or skill or that part of you, that version of you that needs a little bit of love so it can grow and blossom and see the light of day and can achieve fulfillment, can come outside and so it can emerge from you. Okay? Trying to bring that verdant energy back. We want the sprouts. We want springtime to finally arrive here. We're trying to thaw something out. Maybe it's love, romance, family. Maybe it's connection. Maybe it's self-love. I mean, it is self-love ultimately. But this is kind of saying, like, I've just been stuck on this path, and I don't know why I do it anymore, but this is how things are going. Yeah. And this requires, when something's got trajectory, it takes an act of will, right? A body in motion is going to stay in motion until acted upon by a force, an internal force or an external force. And so it's kind of like saying, once we get up to speed, once we have a trajectory, a direction, and a speed, right? We have a velocity. It takes effort to change that in any way, either to change direction, or it takes effort to slow it down, or to come to a complete stop. It's so much easier to just keep going. It burns so much less fuel. It's way easier, more efficient, more economical to just set the cruise control and keep going that way. Having to turn, you got to slow down. It's a mess, right? It takes attention, takes effort. It takes a 5 of Wands. So just because it's easier to stay on this trajectory doesn't mean it's the right trajectory. If we're even 1 degree off from our 0 degrees north, we're going to end up very far away from where we want to be. Okay? But we also can keep in mind that we don't have to make these huge changes in our lives. We can do little things to just nudge ourselves back on course, to nudge ourselves closer, even like just 1 or 2 degrees of change is going to make a huge difference over time. So it's kind of like these little daily kind of habits, these little daily choices we make are going to make a huge difference in the end. But if we keep doing what we've always done, we'll keep getting what we've always got. Yeah. So we're making little, maybe micro adjustments. Yeah. Now, up above in the 5th position of the giant, we have the 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands is swiftness. It's kind of like a message coming through that's saying, we better hurry up, because we've been going in this particular direction for a long time. The longer we wait, the further off course we'll get. We start doing things now. Let's get creative. Let's do a lot of little things. Instead of one big thing, let's just do a lot of little things. This is kind of saying that we need a different tool. We need to find a different way of doing things. The way we've been, the trajectory that we've been on hasn't been working for us. We got to get creative. We got to do kind of anything but here. Making any kind of a change right now is going to be better than keeping things exactly how they've been. And this might be a little bit of anxiety. This might be, I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I've been doing the same thing for so long and getting the same result, that hanged man, that suffering, the feeling of sacrifice, the sort of internal neglecting something inside of us. I've been doing that for so long, I don't know what I want to do or what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what my destiny is. Well, one way to help us discover that is to make any kind of change at all. Find something positive, healthy, productive that we can do that's different than what we did yesterday. And let's just do it. A little tiny thing. In any direction. Any direction right now is going to be better than staying the same. Because at least if we nudge our spaceship a little bit and we can see that it's possible, it will empower us more to say, okay, I can do this. I can change. I can make different choices. I can transform my life. I can direct my life the way I want it to go. I can change my trajectory, right? I can nudge the river. So we experiment. We do a little bit of anything just to prove to ourselves that we can. I think we have to follow our intuition. I think there is a path that's going to be a little bit more prosperous for you. There is a rainbow, after all, at the top of the card. So there's a general course of action here, a general direction. It's kind of like you get this, you get the kind of compass rose. And we see true north up there, but true north is like, it looks like it is, 90 degrees, right, north. And so it's not just 0 point, it has to be precise. It's kind of like, as long as we go generally north somewhere, we'll be good. I don't want to go west, I don't want to go east, I want to go south. I think generally north, over there somewhere, is kind of where I want to go with my life. We don't have to pinpoint, it doesn't have to be precise, you see. And so we're going anywhere from like northeast all the way to northwest. That kind of a wide degree of tolerance. Yeah, because at least we're headed in the right direction. And yeah, 1 degree is going to make all the difference, sure. So what we're doing is we're sort of nudging ourselves back to north the best we can. Maybe we don't know what 0 degree true north is, but we know that we're getting closer if we start going generally north somewhere, north-ish, right? Because that's where we're going to cross that veil. And so really what we're getting is the indication of a 3 of Wands here. And the 3 of Wands is virtue. I know generally who I am, why I'm here, and what direction I want my life to go. I don't have to know exactly what I want to be, or where I want to be, who I want to be, what I want to be doing. I think we can all have a general idea of what we want, which way we can start nudging our lives. And I think that when we tap into our intuition, the spiritual energy, the high priestess, when we reach out and take the hand of the high priestess, she's kind of leading us in northwest to northeast-ish, right? And the further we get toward that general quadrant of space and time, I think we'll start to have more and more of a clear vision of what we want and what to do next and what other things to implement and how this process of empowered, intentional change is going to play out and how it really will transform our lives, okay? But the next card is position 6. The way forward for you is to sort of ask the questions, okay? If we kind of say, okay, I know this is what I don't want anymore. Well, let me try to answer those questions. What do I want? And maybe these two can go together. I have to experiment with things. I've got to go generally where I think the answer will be, somewhere north, somewhere towards the rainbow. And I'll keep asking the questions, and I'll keep refining my direction until I can really hone in on that 0 degrees north. We don't have to know exactly. We're not striving for precision here. We're striving toward making any kind of a change we can right now to get us going in generally the right direction. So I think the 5 of Swords is really, we're kind of going through that cloud of confusion and doubt. And we realize that we have to use our willpower to get through the doubt. Okay? And that taking the hand of the high priestess is not necessarily leading us directly to clarity. We're going to have to go through a lot of questions. We're going to have a lot of questions. Where are we going? We're taking the high priestess's hand. We're saying, where are you taking me? Where are we going? Why are we going in this direction? We're going to be like a kid in the back of the car saying, where are we going? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And also, I feel that if this is a kind of a card that says, I can't, this is the card that says, why not? Or this is saying, I don't know why I'm continuing on the current trajectory. This is the card that says, well, then why continue? If I don't know why I'm still here, okay, then why not do something else? In a way, I feel like this reading is the path of anywhere but here. Yeah. There's no water energy here. Wherever we are existing, there seems to be a lack of fulfillment, a lack of nourishment. I feel like this is us realizing that. And because again, this is a garden inside of us hasn't been watered in a while. Okay, then why are we still here? Let's go find the water. Let's move to where the food is, you know? And so we're trying to ask those questions. Well, what would nourish me? What would make me happy? Well, I don't know. I'm not going to know till I go. I'm not going to know until I find out, until I learn. Maybe we don't know what we want. Maybe we don't know who we are really or why we're here. I think I have a general idea that the high priest is going to lead me generally north-ish somewhere. Maybe it's kind of even this idea that I can get a decent assessment of what will make me happy if I just kind of look around at other people in my life that I admire, that I respect. And if I also ask myself those questions like, you know, let me experiment a little bit. Let me look at like what tends to make people happy these days, like truly deeply happy. Not like, oh, video games and the internet and tarot readings on YouTube and, you know, soda pop and French fries and all that kind of stuff. No, not like not immediate gratification, not what brings us that kind of like comfort in the moment, you know. And I'm not trying to sell YouTube tarot readings short, you know. It's my livelihood, it's my work after all, right? But in these readings, I don't try to tell you what you should do. I don't think tarot works that way. I don't think spirit works that way. Spirit's not going to say, oh, okay, you're meant to be a lawyer. That's what's going to make you happy, right? Yeah, being a lawyer. Or, oh, no, you're meant to dance. Yep, if you dance, you'll be happy. Yeah, maybe not. Okay? It's trying to tell you that we need to live our life in order to find that out. That there is this garden in us that maybe we don't even know what seeds we planted there. It's never too late to water them. You know, we have to go and discover ourselves. We have to find out what's going to make us emotionally stimulated, what's going to fulfill us. What does our 10 of Cups look like here? Okay. You may feel right now that even though our trajectory is not making us happy, at least we have a direction, right? Maybe you're already a lawyer. Maybe you're saying, oh, I'm just going to keep doing the lawyer thing because that's what I do. It doesn't make me happy, but it's better than feeling lost, right? Maybe not. Maybe we have to get a little bit lost in order to find ourselves, you know. I think at least intellectually and spiritually maybe, we have to explore other ideas. But it makes sense that we'd kind of stay where we feel comfortable now. Even though this path isn't making me happy, at least it's a path. At least it's something, right? Something's better than nothing. So what role does fear play in these decisions? Let's talk about the path of the serpent. First card we come to is the fear, yeah. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. These readings are totally free. It really helps the channel out. I appreciate that. I think the point was that we can look around at what tends to make people truly fulfilled in life, just as general as human beings, not the day-to-day stuff, you know, that people like different things or whatever. We all have different interests, you know. What really makes people truly and authentically happy? Relationships, you know, friendships, having a sense of family, community, having a sense of purpose, right? Feeling creative, feeling spiritual, feeling connected with the environment, connected with other people. For you, is it a social thing? Okay. Is it a Is it the exploration, the spiritual path? Is it, are your goals maybe are more of a physical nature, or mental, emotional, or spiritual, creative? So I'm not saying that we have to just, well, look at what our neighbor's doing. Oh, okay, our neighbor's over there doing that. I'm going to do that too, and then I'll be happy as well. Great. Neighbor's a doctor. Oh, I guess I should just be a doctor, because then I'll be happy because they seem happy. But we don't know. I think it's a little bit more general than that, right? And that's kind of giving us our Three of Wands, general direction, north, let's go that way. We'll refine it as we go. But for now, it's like, okay, maybe I need something creative, I need something expressive, I need something that's going to connect me with other people, I want to have something that's going to, I gotta know what my talents are, and then I gotta know how I can develop those talents. Okay, it's work to figure these things out. The Three of Swords is your general energy. To me, this is sorrow. This is maybe feeling lost, feeling scared of feeling lost. So feeling like I got to cling to whatever this trajectory is that I'm on. Whatever I'm doing in my life now, I have to cling to it, because the alternative is that I'm lost in space. The alternative is that I'm aimless and directionless. Now, the Three of Swords is a card of memory. It's a card of unconscious complexes. It's a card of us reliving something from the past. Okay? It may be that what we're clinging to is something that at one time did make us happy, but now we've been on this trajectory for so long, the happiness is long gone, the fulfillment's long gone, but yet here we are still dedicated to it anyway, because we haven't really figured that there was anything else out there. But again, the Hanged Man is inverted. The Hanged Man is emerging, okay? Emerging with a new realization, coming out into the light and saying, I know that this isn't making me happy anymore. And maybe it did at one point. Okay, so we could be clinging to something in the past and just, realizing that it's time to move forward. Time to take the hand, right, that's being offered to us by Spirit. The Three of Swords is Saturn in Libra. It's a restriction of our connections. To me, it feels like a loneliness. It feels like a deep sadness or melancholy. Okay? And we may be feeling lonely right now. The High Priestess is the intuition. The High Priestess is card number 2 of the tarot, always leading you to card number 3. What's right behind the High Priestess? The Empress. The best life. The paradise, the big rock candy mountain. The best life that we can imagine for ourselves, whatever that is for you. You got your pets, your plants, your people. It's perfect, right? It's paradise. It's our Garden of Eden. And we're sort of trusting this. And so I think that because this is in the position of your environment, this is the shadow position, right? Position 8 of the spread. It's closely related to this card, because I think that there's something happening in the external world for you, something happening around you that's really making you acutely aware that, hey, I haven't been doing what I need to do for me, right? So I don't know if it's through an interaction with another person or some kind of a synchronicity, some kind of a coincidence, some kind of a message from the divine that says, hey, you've been neglecting yourself and it's time to stop that. Maybe somebody else behaves in a certain way, and it really leads you to that realization that's, oh man, I got to start focusing on what I need to grow. I want to cultivate myself now. Maybe it's somebody who was very rude. Maybe there was a lack of appreciation. Maybe there was, I don't know, something happened at work or something like this that led you to this feeling like, hey, you know what? The scales have fallen from my eyes, right? The wool has been pulled from my vision here. And I can see now that this is not a situation that is nourishing to me. This is not something I want to keep doing. And there's some part of me that is not feeling very, very loved right now. And so I need to go and love that part of me. you know. And so the high priestess, sometimes when we take her hand, sometimes she's going to drag us through the briar patch. This light, this spiritual light is going to show us things that we don't always want to see. But we need to see them. Because then when we see them, it makes us aware of where we need to put in the work. Where we have been blocked from fulfilling our true potential, from cultivating that internal garden, from becoming the person that we need to become. Not always fun and games. When the high priestess takes us north-ish, it's not always pleasant. We're taking her hand. Sometimes she's dragging us through the mud, dragging us through the briar patch, over the mountain and through the woods, right? Or what is it? Over the river and through the woods, right? Yeah, over the river and through the woods. And to grandmother's house we go, right? Grandmother, of course, is the high priestess. The empress, right? High priestess leading us there. This is that intuition. This is spirit kind of showing you things that are difficult to see, but we need to see them because it gives us that awareness, that realization of what we need to do, and we kind of say, oh boy. I feel like maybe there's some kind of a, was there like a health scare or something for you recently? I feel like something like literal has happened that you kind of made you sweat, and you're like, oh boy, okay, I got to start doing something different in life. You know, and I don't know what that was. It could have been like a near-miss car accident. It could have been like a health thing, like you're waiting for a test to come back, or something that feels like it really woke you up. Yeah. And you're doing something with your hands. You're molding something or crafting something with your hands. Maybe right now you're playing with something, but I feel like you're kind of molding something like clay, or you do pottery, or maybe you're knitting or crocheting, but you're doing something with your hands together, where your hands are working together, yeah. The Prince of Pentacles, the builder, right? It's in our fear, worry, and concern. Position 9, the specter position, is our anxiety. I think the fear is, what are we building? And in a way, we're talking about our hands shaping something, right? That's what the builder does. The body is going to build something. The physical realm, we're going to construct a life. We're building a personality. We're building our personal reality. If we're not doing so intentionally, we're paying attention to something else. You know, the physical realm is going to come and say, here you go. And we're going to look at it and say, what is this? This isn't what I wanted. I can't eat this. This doesn't make me happy. It's not what I ordered. And the body's going to say, well, that's what we've always made for you. Or that's what you've been thinking about the whole time. Or that's kind of like, that's the program that's been running. That's the recipe you gave us a long time ago. This is what we've made. We have to pay attention, right? So the fear is that we're going to end up constructing a life that we really don't want. We're going to construct a life that I didn't want this. I didn't build this. Yeah, we did. Every moment of every day, we're constructing ourselves and we're constructing our personal reality. We are the magic makers, right? And we're doing magic even when we're not aware of it. Unconsciously, we're creating our physical existence, our physical reality. Now, this is for someone specific out there. You bit your tongue. Someone, Spirit's saying that you bit your tongue, and it's very recently, very painful, yeah. Sometimes I don't know why these messages come through. I pass them on, okay? And there's a delay in some sort of a payment that you've been waiting for. You've been like you're collecting. You're waiting to collect something, yeah. But in a way, this is the fear of kind of the future, right? And I think that's why the princes are always about what we're doing right now. It's kind of like, what am I building today? And I think that this is the fear because, like, with that Hanged Man energy and all the other cards, we're kind of realizing that I have been building every day, constructing a life that isn't fulfilling or enriching. It isn't fostering my growth. It isn't my potential. It isn't what I want. I've been constructing and creating a kind of barren garden here. Okay, I haven't watering the seeds enough. Yeah. So this is something that we're going to have to intentionally focus on this. We're going to have to, and especially because, look, the Prince of Wands, Prince of Pentacles, fire and earth, the spiritual electrical circuit of creation, the art and science of manifestation. If we've been doing it, for what reasons? We've been manifesting somebody else's life. We've been manifesting a life we don't want. We've got to change course as soon as possible and start nudging the river a little bit, start manifesting the life that we can generally say, yeah, that's what I want, it's north-ish, it's somewhere up there, right? So we start doing those little things, little habits. Right now, they're going to start creating our life in a way that we will be very happy about. Of course, that next card is happiness. The next card is full illumination. This is love and joy and pleasure and success. This is fulfillment. This is your destiny. Your light is shining. That your spirit is fully activated. Your soul is illuminated. And you are growing the life that you want to grow. Building the life that you want to live. This is that card of success. Yeah. This is I think your destiny is to be a fully realized person. To fulfill your nature the best that you can, intentionally, with full awareness. This is a card of clarity. And it's the card that says, I still don't know exactly where my life's taking me. But I know that if I live with full awareness, if I live intentionally and consciously, my life will continue to get better and better and better. Yeah, I'm going to have emotional ups and downs. There will be upsets. There will be twists and turns and all this kind of stuff. But there is a deeper joy, a deeper sense of destiny here. The sun has its own orbit through the cosmos. Yeah. And the sun is shining radiantly, fully aware of every moment, regardless of the weather down here on Earth, So I feel like this is the attention that we need to give ourselves right now. And you will achieve something extraordinary. We've got to make the right changes. Let's look at the mystery card. I want this to be great-grandmother's house. I want it to be the Empress. But might be Three of Wands, might be an ace of something. I would also really like either the Wheel of Fortune or some water energy, a 6, a 9, a 10 of cups. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh yeah, 9 of cups, happiness. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is happiness on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. This is you living a happy life. This is you following your bliss, pursuing your happiness, right? This is like, I love my life. And I maybe don't know exactly what I want to do. It doesn't mean you have to be a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse or a business person or a dancer, a singer or a writer or a YouTube tarot reader. It's not specific like that. You may do all of those things in your life or none of them. It's your choice, but you have to do what's going to fulfill you and enrich your life. I think you're going to be doing a great many things, a lot of different things. So it's not really about what you're doing, it's about how and why. With a sense of meaning, sense of purpose, with clarity, right? With love and devotion. This is something nourishing to your soul. This is something that is exploring our potential. We're feeding our potential. We're watering the internal garden, see? And we are becoming. I think this is a prophecy. This is wonderful. You're going to be very, very happy in your life. We got to start today. This is your fate. Okay. Now we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Pisces on Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we are all in this together.